Are you ready for this? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's part 2. I am excited for this for 2 reasons. For 3 reasons. The first is because you guys are here with me. The second, because today we have an awesome special guest. He's going to be coming on in just a second here. And the last one is because I will be able to not be called out by Avila, because we're going to stay in schedule today. We got all the notes, got everything. I came prepared, and we're going to get this cracking in just a bit. All right, a few things, a few housekeeping rules. Don't forget, if you're new and you haven't yet hit that like button, we got 15 people on and I only see 7 likes. Come on, guys, let's pound that like button. Okay. Second thing is, yeah, there's no second thing today, guys. Actually, that's the still number one thing. All right, let's get going. We have, let's see the list here. We still have 120 commenters to go through. We still have, let's see, we stopped at, yeah, we have like 12 or 13 to go approximately. The ones that I want to deal with you guys. So let's not take any more time. I've unmuted you, Ombra. What's up, man?
Okay.
Want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, guys. Now I hear you perfect.
Yeah, I had muted you for a second there so I could just do the little quick intro on the live. I just deafened everybody on the call here within Discord. Let's see if everything is looking fine and dandy on the stream. I think we got everything going. Actually, there is one thing. There is one thing that you guys can do. It feels like I'm listening to Pride. Yes, because Pride from Iron is also Italian.
So maybe my accento is a little similar to them.
Maybe. I don't know if did I ever have a voice call with Pride. I don't remember now. I don't think so. so I don't know what his accent is like. But nah, you know, you speak just fine. Your accent is awesome.
I try my best, so I'm not the best on English, but I do my best.
Nah, man, you're good. It's just fine. Come on. So, let's see here. Harvey Thomas, Hands of Clay. We got Sundu Wudu. Oh, that is a cool name. Guys, there is one last thing. Don't forget to share it with your friends, especially if they're free to play or low spenders, all right? Because there's a lot of important stuff we're going to talk about today. Perfect. Let's get going. Let's see. We do have a couple things I wanted to mention, but we'll leave it for later if we have time. Perfect. Arsenal, where did your ring go? I don't know. Maybe did you renew your sub? Or was it the one you got from the one that was gifted by Ghost last time? I can't remember. Let's get going. Let me pull up here the tier list. Give me a second, guys. Get the door closed. My daughter came in, so let me just close the door really quick. All right, guys, I think we're good now. Mute. Ombra, or else I can't hear him.
Lucky gifted, maybe.
Sorry, yeah, give me a second. I'm just trying to get my kids too.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so let's pull up the tier list over here. You pull this out of the way. Resize everything. Sweet. And pull the put the chat over here. Put the chat over here. Here you go. Put the chat over here. Put the stream over there. Put the chat. Good. We got everything going now. Perfect.
So from who we gonna start today?
Let's see here. So let's just remember the category, how we talked about. Maybe there's somebody new that doesn't really know what we are, what are we calling free to play in this tier list. Mighty, our T1s, maximum R8, our epics, R5s, and our legendaries R3. Now, Radek just commented that on the chat here, and we're gonna have to wait and see what that really means, because according to the news that was released today, now the legendary commanders are gonna be called mythic.
Yeah, it's just an appearance. I think it's just a change of the item. So when you pass from legendary to zenith, you're gonna be mythic now. But it's nothing related to game mechanics. It's only appearance.
Oh, at least, I mean, for now, that's the thing. We don't fully know the reasons behind making changes like these. So it could be just cosmetics. It could be that they're gonna bring in new commanders and new commander levels. I have no idea. So it's just
possible.
Interesting.
Imagine Balrog mythic.
I haven't made more items. I don't know what's going on.
It's possible.
But at least, guys, you guys are seeing that stuff is happening. Things are being done. Is it what you wanted? Maybe. We don't know yet. All right, so so that's the category. That's the parameter. Legendary R3, Epic R5, Mighty R8. And I'm going to keep at the screen so you guys make sure you remember that. Let me just pull up here so I got the tier list over here. When you decide to find stuff, let's see. Here we go. There we go. We got this up finally. Jeez, things are hiding from us today.
Yeah, the in the way of yesterday.
Oh, jeez, everything.
Hashtag in the way.
Hashtag in the way, guys. Where is this? Here we go. All right, let's make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see the whole thing. And I'll hide the names. That's fine. Here we go. Perfect. Leave this here for now. Okay, so let's stop. Let's continue where we stopped. We talked about Khaldun, and then we jumped onto Lurtz. I have no idea why I did that, but we decided to continue later. So that's why. Let's go on the next in line here. Let me just look at my list. Who is the next in line? So we've done Khaldun, but we haven't done Khamul. Let's look at Khamul really quick. Where is his kit? Where's BlueStacks? Give me a second here. Holy moly.
So basically, when we check at Khamul, we think about the R3 and the R0 top.
Yep.
We have the Nut-School skill that is a classic for every ring rate that have it. So it's 400% focus damage in the first 2 rounds, so 2 times for 2 target, and then we have an extra poison damage of 200% on 2 target, the 2 target you hit in the pre-battle phase. Then you have Shadow of the East that deals a damage between 400% and 600% one time with 1 round of cooldown on one target. So it's a very solid skill for damage, that one, and also deals an additional 100% poison damage.
Yep. So I mean, looking at his calculation, Khamul sits. If my calculations are correct, you're getting 3,000% of damage from his top R0 and 2,000% from his Nazgul skill. Remember, guys, if you guys didn't know, a lot of the skills have been changed. The names and the way that they name some skills within skills have also been changed. So the old ring wraith now is called Nazgul. So for me, Khamul is sitting at 5,000% of elemental damage. Not bad,
it's
huh?
Solid for me. It's solid for me at this level.
Definitely. So, but let's see here. Let's see where the other one sits, and where we should place him. Okay, so let's see. Pull this down here. Now this looks perfect. So Khamul, let's pull Khamul up. Here we go. At 5,000 focus damage, something we have to start. And I brought this up in my spreadsheet because I was looking at the damage. The basic damage for a commander, and there's the disparity between legendary to epic to mighty is quite high. So Khamul has a range of 17 to 18 of damage. So if we were going just by pure numbers, Khamul would sit. Let's rank this from high to low. Khamul would sit right under Dwalin. Okay, if we were going just by sheer percentage power, but we have to consider that Khamul does elemental damage, and also his base damage is a lot higher. Let's see, a lot higher. Dwalin's base damage is 14 to 17, so it is quite a bit. It's 3 points on. It's 3 points on the low end, but only 1 point in the high end. So it is stronger than Dwalin. So he definitely passes Dwalin. Let's see what else here. King of Man, 5,220 with 21 to 24 damage range.
Show the tier list on the screen.
Oh shoot, I apologize. Oh, yeah, give me a second. Everything keeps changing here. Let me pull up.
You need a button for switch from one screen to the other.
I know I have here. I just haven't had time to set it up. Give me a second. Let me make my screen on BlueStacks bigger. Give me a second here. Let's fix this. So we got that up. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna have to resize this thing all over again, but that's okay. I don't think I'll have to do this again.
So looking at the number,
Go ahead.
only about the skill, it's okay. You place over Dwalin, and you also consider the basic damage, and the fact is elemental damage, so bypass the defense. So for this reason, it's okay you place over Dwalin, but in my opinion, Khamul damage is a bit more in the range of Sestaro damage, because the basic attack, the basic damage of Dwalin, if we consider them at respect 8, it's also ascended, so it's superior than a blue Dwalin.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to consider that. So that the basic damage on average of that Dwalin is 20. Mm-hmm. So it's superior than Khamul, because Khamul on average, if I'm not wrong, have 18.
Yep. 17 to 18. So it's like basically 17 and a half if you're gonna
17 and a half.
yeah, you're
yes.
gonna go like very precise at 17 and a half. But that's the thing though. So let's go back here. So Sistar, I mean, we're gonna have to reduce Sistar and Galadriel because although sheer percentage wise they don't do as much damage as others, focus damage like we talked about bypasses defense. So you can't put 4,000 physical damage in the same level as 4,000 focus damage. So we're gonna have to replace these two. But the thing is, how do you feel about this? In this case, right now we're not really equivalent, like ascension level. Although Dwalin is ascended, right? In this case, that is true. So Dwalin ascended.
Respect 8, yes, he's ascended.
Yeah, so
he's 20 on average of basic damage.
Yeah, so he. All right, okay. What about Eomer and Aragorn though? Their damage, their base damage is Aragorn the second, 15 to 18 at the same range, and Eomer 16 to 18. Maybe above Aragorn, King of Man, but below above Aragorn 2, but below Eomer. Because Eomer has 5,400 of total damage. And his range is just, basically, it's 17. His mid-range is 17. 4,500 of physical damage versus 5,000 of elemental damage. 400% at this level sounds good.
In my opinion, it's a bit superior also than
Eomer, right?
Khamul. A bit superior, but just a little because it's focus damage, it's elemental damage.
I agree. And definitely at this level as well, the type of gear you can really get is not going to be top tier, for focus. It's easier.
What I consider
go ahead.
Purple gear, just middle purple gear.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm rebuilding my whole spreadsheet of equipment, but it's easier, or the numbers for purple gear for physical damage seem to be a bit higher than the gear for focus damage.
No, it's exactly the same.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes, 12 of damage from the equipment and 69 of the statistic you choose can be attack or focus. Perfect. So it's exactly the same.
Perfect. It's been so long since I've looked at purple gear because I haven't converted any of my purple stuff. So it's been a while. Perfect. I'm comfortable with Khamul. Obviously not above Lurtz. But
no,
his focus damage, definitely, but his focus damage would do quite well above Eomer and Aragorn at this level, at least.
Yes.
Right. We're not talking about ascension to legendary, because then the Eomer really pops off with his unique and things like that. So, all right, cool guys. Next up, we have Lathar. Let's go to Big Boy Lathar. I'll put him down here so that you guys know that this is who we're talking about. Lathar. Let me pull up his skill tree right here. So Lathar has his top R0 Reaper skill, 240% physical damage to 2 formations. And it will proc 5 times. It has a 1 round cooldown. So Lathar will pop up on his top R0 2,400% of physical damage, and then his R3 Weapon Master, the same skill that Undying has, which we're gonna look at in just a little bit. For the first 3 rounds, does 300% to 2 formations. That will, it's equivalent to 1,800 of physical damage. Lathar will hit. The other 2 skills are not related to his own damage. It's a troop skill, and Master of the Fallen. Actually, never mind. Oh, okay. This is for formation units. I forgot.
It's only for formation.
Yes, only for formation. So Lathar's commander damage peaks at 4,200. That puts him percentage-wise below Exog so far that we have. So below Exog and above Faramir. How do you feel about that?
I feel about that Lathar have also 18 of base damage.
Mm-hmm.
So if we compare if we compare that with Faramir, that have 15 of damage,
so low for Faramir, so low. So give me
it's better than Faramir for sure, but about Azok, I'm not pretty confident because it have the same amount of base damage when you ascend Azog, because I have 18 on average too.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I'm not 100% sure you calculated correct all the damage of Azog, because you consider the double proc of the R3.
Yeah. So let me see. Maybe I did it wrong. So for the first 3 rounds, it should be.
No, not about Lathar. You consider perfect. I'm talking about Azok, because you say it's similar to Azok. In my opinion, is Azok a bit better? Just Lathar, it's fine.
No, I think so. Let me see here. Let's go back to Azok. There were a couple of commanders I needed to do a recap. So let's take the time really quick to do. I think it was correct. So his strongest skill. What's up, the Allfather? How you doing, man? So his strongest skill is his top R0 Pursuer, right? It will hit for 2,000 throughout the fight. Black Numenorian is 1,200 if you did max it out for the whole fight. Then you have Shadow of the Mist. Yes, so it's 130. Let me see how my calculation is here. So pull up my calculator. So it's 130.
On 3 target.
Yep.
Multiply by for 2 round.
Yep.
Multiply by 3 times that apply.
Yep, 2,340. Yep, we did. That's correct. But that's the thing. What I probably forgot to do was add. Let me see here. So that, I mean, just those 2 skills alone is 4,340. Okay.
Then you have the damage of the R5.
Yep. So there's a couple of, you can add, what is it? It's 2 points. No, 4 points. It's 4.
4 point.
Yeah, 4 so point. 4. That is 2. So let's do the
220. Multiply by 3.
Yep. So that's probably where I forgot to add the second one. So give me a second here. Yep, so it's 660. So now when we add all of those 3, he's definitely gonna go up in the rank if I'm not wrong. So he's at 5,000 power damage. Let's pull up tier list here before we finish putting Lathar up. Okay. So at 5,000, he will sit just above, so just below Khamul in this case.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect.
It's exactly where I placed them too.
Perfect. All right, so we're in the same thinking here. So let's put Azog in his rightful place, below Khamul, above Elmer. But that's the thing. Now give me a second here. Now he has to be below Elmer, because Elmer is doing 5,400 of damage. And his range might be similar because he's ascended, but I don't think, I mean, at 5,400 and Azog at 5,000, he's a bit weaker than Elmer. And they're both physical damage. Now Aragorn 2.
Yeah, it's in the similar range. It's not always better. Maybe if Azog is on attack, it's a bit better, but you have also to consider the Pursuer skill.
Yes,
you have also to consider the Pursuer skill work only on attack. So I will put under Elmer maybe.
Yeah, that's where I put him, right there. I like that. What's up, buddy? Just give me a second, guys. All right, guys, little guy break here. Let's keep going. That's what happens when you have kids. You guys are gonna see a little bit of this the more we do live streams. All right, let's go. Next up, we have I think it's time for Undying. What's up? All father is the one to tell, man. That guy's always posting photos and stuff of his family. Family does come first, bro. All right, so let's go to the Undying. A commander that I really like, but not sure, man. At R3.
I mean, for me, there's a lot of people using Undying as a damage dealer, okay, but I completely disagree with who do that.
I agree
He's
with
not
you.
a damage dealer.
I agree. My Undying.
He's not bad.
No, he's not. No, definitely, he's not bad. But because there are others that will do better than he does, then I've started to shift towards him being my tank. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at his skills. What I would do though is I would add one. You know, if you have enough points, when you are at R5, if you're gonna push him to R5, I will put 1 point here and then 1 point here, and then probably everything else for me will go in these two skills. That's how I'm playing him, at least for now. All right, perfect. So he has 2 damage skills. Undertaker, normal attacks deal 120% physical damage to 3 formations. That will add up to 2,400 of damage. And then his R3 Weapon Master is the same skill as Lathar for 1,800. Okay, so he has the same amount of power, output percent of power as Lathar. Now, there are a couple of things that you take into consideration in this case. Is the fact that he is a legendary commander, so he does have higher base stats. But besides that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's really nothing much else to talk about, for the Undying, really. What do you think?
I mean, 22 of damage is for sure a lot better than what Lathar have.
Oh yes, of course. He's gonna go above Lathar for sure.
A lot. It's even higher than commander like Eomer, Aragorn, Balin. All this one have inferior attack than them. The fact have a bad kit for doing damage is another thing, of course. So in general, I think it's not bad just because it's very useful also for other stuff, but only for doing damage. I don't classify really high them.
I mean, I think I would put him. Let me see. Look, Balin is doing. Let's see here. Balin. Where is my
For me,
Balin?
Undying
Jeez.
is better than Balin.
I think so. I just want to double check my numbers here. Okay, so Balin is doing 4,650. He only does 4,200, but his higher statistic for me would put Undying at top of this tier right here.
And also consider the R3 is a skill you apply in pre-battle, so you can burst and avoid the White Council
Exactly.
with that.
Yes, but sheer power. I mean, let's see. I mean, look at because he's only 4,200. I couldn't place him at the same level as you know, I'm an epic Dwalin right now, at least, because Dwalin is doing. Let's see, where is Dwalin? Dwalin is doing 5,150, almost 1,000 extra of damage above him.
No, Dwalin is absolutely better.
So
he's absolutely
this
better.
is where I have to put him. Well, brother, I hope your kids get better. I'm in the hospital with my kid. He's sick and I'll need to stay awake to watch his temperature. Well, I hope that this stream will be a good thing for you then. All right. I'll send you a DM in just a second too. See how your kid is doing. All right, so next up. Sweet. Let's see here. So there you have it. The Undying as a free-to-play just above Balin, the head of the middle tier here. Next up, we have our. I mean, we're almost done, guys. Not too much to go. Oh, let's do a good side commander really quick. Let's go to our nice little guy called Legolas, the guy everybody loves. I know you guys love him for sure. Let's remove this one. Actually, it's this one. Let's move this baby up. There we go. Perfect. Legolas. Where do you guys think Legolas will rank? What's up, Porky? Porky in the house.
Hello, Porky.
An elf, exactly. How do you guys think? So before we even talk about him and we look at his skills, where do you guys think that he'll rank in the tier list here? Oh, jeez, cutting off Bjorn.
Sand would say between Dwalin and Gimli because he's a dwarf friend.
That's a good one. Maybe we should put him there. No matter the quality of his skills, you're gonna stay there, man. And every kill you do still only counts as one. All right, let's pull him up. Yes, Porky, this is free to play, bro. We are talking about free to play tonight still, finishing that thing that we couldn't finish last time. So let's look here at Legolas really quick.
So we talk about Legolas Respect 5
Legolas
with the purple
at
gear.
Respect 5. Purple gear, yes. So his damage range is 17 to 18. Not crazy high. So if anything, he's going to stay in between, the Khamul Axog level that we're considering. Unless his damage output is very, very high. So his top R0 adds up. It's 200% physical damage to 2 formations with a 30% chance of doing poison damage. Now, the poison damage is very, very, very meh because you're not going to put focus gear on Legolas because both of his main skills are physical damage. So top R0 will add up to 2,600% of power, and his R3, and I did calculate a 30% increase from level 5. So that's the total it's 2,000% of damage for the regular attack, the regular skill Greenleaf, and then an extra 30%, of damage increase, the chance of proccing about 30%. Then we've added that in, we factored that in. Now the fair, 550% of damage to 1 formation every 3 rounds, adding up to 1,650. Legolas' total power output is 4,250. 4,250. Pure numbers wise, and we'll look if we need a tiebreaker, depending where he's sitting, we'll then look at his damage output to then classify him. So Legolas would sit just above Lathar. Lathar does 4,200% of damage. Legolas will on average do 4,200% of damage. And the thing is, they have almost identical. They have the same average. They actually do have the same average.
But Legolas have less attack base.
How much less? So he has 44.
Legolas 44, Lathar 66.
That would be the difference. I think Lathar will still be at the top at this level. It's quite significant, that number. Jeez. All right, so Lathar, he goes. So Legolas will go.
We're talking about 50% more attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot.
So let me pull up here Legolas.
The problem of the kit of Legolas is just the Respect 3 skill have the cooldown of a skill like Thorin's Blood, but definitely don't have the damage of that skill.
Exactly.
So
very,
it's not
very
at the
different.
level.
Yep. Now the thing is, when we talk about low spender and high spender, Legolas will probably outpace Lathar. The fact that his his relic is quite strong.
Yeah, unique. It's at Lur's level.
Mm-hmm. So that's gonna make Legolas pop, after that. I mean, not at Lurt's level, because Lurt's without any of that is already ranking much higher. Lurt's does 5,300.
Just the unique.
Just the unique is at his level, exactly. Perfect. So this is where our buddy Legolas sits now. Jeez, that's kind of harsh. Between Lathar and Faramir.
Pretty fair.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely not between two dwarves, though. So, all right. So next up, we've done, so next up is Oglher. Where do you guys think Oglher will sit? While I'm pulling up his information, where do you think Oglher is going to sit in this tier list? Remember that we're not giving our opinions here. We're looking at the stats, at the data, and then giving the most. We're just ranking based on the numbers. The only thing we're gonna have to T3 Oglher exactly. The only thing we're having to do is whenever we have a tiebreaker, then we decide to look at the focus, look at the damage, if it's elemental or physical, and then make our best judgment here. To simplify things. So let's see, Oglher. Ogler's at the bottom here for now. Okay. Perfect. So Oglher has 2 damage skills. 4,000, you think? You think he's gonna do 4,000? Well, my friend, let's check it out. So Oglher, I don't have him, so I gotta pull him over here. I forgot where he is. Oh, he's down here.
I mean, for sure, the bottom are 0. It's better than the Fare of Legolas. At least have 700% physical damage.
Okay, here we go. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yes. So his bottom are 0. Oh, never mind. His top are 0. No, bottom. Jeez.
No, bottom.
Yeah, I just forgot the order here, so I put on the top. So his bottom are 0 does 700% physical damage every 3 rounds, right? So that's 2,100% of damage. And then his R3. Hopefully, I calculated this right. I believe I did. 150% of bleed damage to 2 formations 3 times. Now, when you go up to level 10, it takes effect 4 times. So the way I've calculated this is 150% times 2 to 2 formations, right? Then times 4, then times 2 because it procs only twice. Activates only twice because it has a 3-round cooldown. So it's going to proc in round 8, round 4, and round 8. That total, okay, that total comes down to 4,500% of damage.
SSSS make a question about bleeding.
Sorry, what's the difference between bleed and normal damage? What can you say about that, Umbra?
Okay,
Well, I mean,
the normal damage is an instance of damage physical. In this case, you apply direct in the moment where the skill active. The bleeding is proccing when you receive another attack. So for example, if I inflict bleed on you, I don't inflict the damage of bleed on you, I just inflict the status bleed on you. And the next time you get it, you take 1 instance of that damage, in this case 150%. Then with another allied hit you take again 150% until you finish the usage, in this case 4 times.
Yep, so look.
So it's a damage over time.
Yep, so look. You can see the meaning of bleed right here. So deals additional physical damage once after taking physical damage. So just like Umbra said, round 4 it activates, is going to inflict the status of bleed on your commander or your whatever the formation you hit it on. Whenever they take damage, they're gonna take a second instance of damage from the bleed. So let's say they get hit with a normal attack. The normal attack's gonna do its normal damage, and then he's gonna inflict another 150% of damage on top of that in 4 instances. If that formation gets hit 4 times in the same round, they're going to take 4 bleed damages in that same round. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Cool.
The only big problem with bleed is you cannot stack bleed. So if you have more than one commander that inflict bleed or troop inflict bleed, and you inflict again the bleed, you override that.
Yep.
So you're gonna waste that
because
damage.
bleed is a status, right? It's not a skill.
Exactly.
You know, if let's say Durin's blood. If you have 2 commanders hitting with Durin's blood, it's gonna hit twice if it hits the same target, because it's a damage skill. In case bleed is a status, it's like the same thing as giving madness to somebody twice.
Exactly.
You know, you're not gonna. It's not like in Pokemon. I think was it
double madness? Imagine
a double. You hit yourself twice. Imagine.
You attack yourself for 2 times, 3 times, depends.
There was a game. Was it Final Fantasy or Pokemon? I can't remember. There was a game where if you hit somebody with the same status, it actually hit you back with it. I can't remember.
Or maybe can be like you get madness, then you attack an enemy, but you have the second madness that madness your madness, and you attack the correct target. Then, because your madness hit.
Exactly.
Infinity loop.
I mean, what would a double stun do then?
I don't know.
All right, let's get going. So with 4,500, just numbers wise, he sits just below Ballin, but definitely he's a lot better than Ballin because his base stats is so much better. Ballin's damage, just going by damage here, would be easy for us to decide. Ballin's minimum maximum is 16, 18. Oglher is 22, 24. That's a huge increase. Right, so because of that,
of damage is big.
Oh yeah, the difference in damage is crazy. So Oglher will definitely sit above Ballin, but let's now compare Oglher to Undying, because Undying has 4,200 now. So he has 4,200 with a 21 to 23 minimum maximum, and then 22 to 24 he puts Undying at 22 mid and 23 mid on Oglher. Let's look at their stats now, though. So you got
there's another thing's really important: the attack. Oglher have 80 of attack base stat.
And what does the Undying does?
The Undying,
I'm pretty sure it's much less than that, though.
The Undying is 59.
Yeah, so yeah, Oglher he is the king of the 4,000 plus so far. Perfect. All right, next up. We already talked about Saruman. Saruman's the king of the hill right now. Skalhelm is the next one up in the tier list. Let's pull her over here. Here we go. She's at the bottom. Man, after today, I'm for sure getting my Stream Deck programmed for stuff, because it is a hassle to have to manually change things within OBS. All right, so let's go to Skalhelm down here.
So Skalhelm, it's easy. We already calculated Nazgul, so
exactly.
We already know.
Nazgul is already calculated. It's 2,000% of damage, and then I'm assuming the better skill for her in this case would be Executioner, and not the Lord of Wolves. So Executioner will deal 75% of poison damage to 3 enemies every single round, and then from rounds 5 and onward, it deals 75% of focus damage again to 3 formations every single round. So it comes down to 3,375. And if you guys want to know, the calculation that I did is 75 times 3 times 10, then plus 75 times 3 times 5, because it only starts, in round 5 onward. So it's actually 6 procs, right?
It's 6. Yeah, it's 6.
There you go. 6 procs. It starts in round 5. Perfect. So actually it goes up by a little bit. And she sits at 5. So the total damage output for Skalhelm is 5,600. Let's see where that would put us when we rank just the pure numbers. 5,600 puts her right below Saruman. So top of... We're gonna look at something in just a second here, but just looking at sheer numbers, this would put her, at least for now, above Dane. She's a tier 3. Her minimum is 20 to 23. Dane's minimum is 23 to 26. It is a bit of a jump, but considering that this is focus damage, what do you think, Umbra? You still think Dane will be stronger?
I think Skalhelm it's better for multiple reasons. First, because it's a burst damage, so in the first 2 rounds you already have an insane amount of damage. All the damage can ignore the White Council, so can be true damage, and that is an important point. And also is elemental damage, so ignore the physical defense.
Exactly. That's exactly why I put her here, because although her damage is a little bit lower, focus damage has I mean, has a lot of, you know, in this case, in this tiebreaker, in a sense, you know, goes right through defense. So it has it kicks up, punches up a lot more than physical damage would do at the same level. So I feel like she at the top of the 5,000s here, above Dane, is a better place.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, guys. We're getting through this very quick. We only have a few left to go. I'm gonna jump this one guy here that I have. I think I might leave him for last. I think Ombra's gonna might know who he is once I skip him. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to Thorin. The commander I really thought was going to be. This is one of the commanders I feel very let down on, because we have so many dwarves and so many damage commanders, and seeing Thorin being supposed to be a damage dealer. He does well. He's not bad by any means, but I wish for Thorin they would have made him a better version of Falcon. I think that would have been the best thing for him. A better, because he has a freaking shield on his hand. What better than give him a better version of Falcon? That would have been the best thing. That would have been so cool. But
in my opinion, it's the worst dwarf right now.
I agree.
No, not the worst.
Yes, I get what you mean.
Still Ori.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I put back in 1.0. I pushed Ori to like R16. All right, so he has the Oaken Shield skill. It does between 200 and 400% physical damage to one formation 5 times. So 200, 400, you get a medium of 3. So we do 300 times 5 instances. Thorin has it will do 1500. Let me see here. What did I do here?
Yeah, it's 1.5k.
Yeah. For some reason I had changed something here. So 1.5k of possible damage, and then his only other skill. This is sad. His only other skill for damage is his bottom R0 that does another 1500 of damage.
Yep.
This is a tier 3, guys. Okay, and you're looking at Thorin doing 3000% of damage the entire fight. That puts him just below Khaldun. We're gonna bring him up, of course, because he has better stats. But let me see who he needs to be, below or between, because Bard, which is Merry and Pippin image here for now. For the recap, I'm gonna be fixing this. But Bard, he does 3,770% of damage. Their minimum and maximum, Bard has 21 to 22.
On average, Bard is 22. I think 21.5.
Yeah, 21.5. And Thorin is about 23 and a
24,
half. 24.
23 and a half. Yeah.
So, I mean, their minimum and maximum are pretty close, but then Bard does a lot more damage from his skills. So he has to be below Bard. So he's above Khaldun, but below Bard. Jeez, that's sad.
The problem of Bard is just the damage is from bleeding. So for the interaction, we already say there's a lot of way that you can overwrite your bleeding. There's a way you can cleanse the bleeding. You can lose some damage.
That's true.
The Thorin is direct damage. Is one hit, boom, you do damage.
That's true. That's a good. So
I think Thorin and Bard are at the same level.
At the same
one
level.
It's potentially better. Bard is potentially better, but Thorin are more secure.
Yeah.
But they are all trash at that level. So anyway,
there you go, guys. If you guys are considering getting any of these guys at R3, you guys know what they look like already. Okay, let's go. Next up, Treebeard. Oh, if you guys think Thorin is bad. If you think Thorin was bad. Let's look at Treebeard. I mean, Treebeard honestly has some really nice stats. You know, look at his minimum maximum. That's the highest in the game.
27 overall damage.
26 out of 27.
26.5.
And he's not
Yeah.
even ascended. He would have gone to 29 to 30. Is it?
No, it's already legendary Treebeard.
I know, but he's not Zenith.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
So he would have gone 3 extra points. So 29 to 30. That would have been his minimum maximum. So, but
Yeah.
the issue is not just that. You go to his skills. At R3, he only has one skill that deals damage. Okay, and then you're like, oh, that's 500% every round. Yes, it's gonna give you 2,500% because he no longer does normal attacks, and so he hits once every other round. So Treebeard's total damage output is 2,500. That's
and
it.
you don't hit with the basic attack, so you reduce by 1,000% that.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly. I mean, that's even worse. Exactly, because you know Thorin is doing 3,000, but he's still doing 100% of his normal attack every single round, which the Treebeard isn't. So
Yeah.
Treebeard unfortunately sits at the very top, very below. I mean, he's below everybody really, because even Faramir is probably going to do more damage than he at this point.
Yeah, in my opinion, is the worst damage dealer possible right now.
Yep. So, geez, that's sad. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, Faramir's over here. Faramir's not the worst. Khaldun so far is the worst, and now we got Treebeard. Okay, Khaldun, Treebeard, perfect. Next up on the line we have Ugak. Let me just see. Let me just check the chat before we get going. We're almost done, guys. We only have like 3 or 4 to go. Let me just check to see what our chat's saying. 35 people in the house. Unbelievable. I can't believe, Porky. Look at this. You're telling me that Treebeard is OP, and yes, and yet. And
It's
yet,
just trolling.
I know. Porky does this in every server. Every time I see him talk about Treebeard. Now, Ryan K, fellow, is Bard broken? On paper, he looks amazing, but he does so badly in play. For a newcomer, that he's extremely underwhelming. Well, Ryan. Let's start before we get going. Look at where we ranked him. Okay. Oh, that's me. I know why you're asking about. So. This is for Ryan. I forgot that we had a new commander. You know, this is an older tier list that I've done, and so I forgot to put Bard's name in here. But when I do the recap, I have the day off tomorrow from work, so either tomorrow or Saturday, I'll be able to do the recap. It's going to be a 5 to 12 minute video. I'll be just talking about the power of each commander, and then making a video that it's not 4 hours long. Okay. But Merry and Pippin is the placeholder for Bard. Look where Bard is. Look at this. He is between Adonai and Thorin. At R3, he is between Adonai and Thorin at the lowest tier possible right now. So at R3, he's not very good. He's doing very little damage. Now, he will reduce the damage from damage dealers with both of his skills, but I don't think it's actually that noticeable. Like it's that crazy noticeable. So as a damage dealer, though, we're only ranking him as a damage dealer. He is right now number 4 from the bottom up. So one of the last places right now. But we're gonna have somebody that's going to take his place right about now. Oh, actually, we have Treebeard. Treebeard is down. Oh, actually, Treebeard is down here. He's at the very last. So he opened up a new tier slot up to 3K. That's just where Treebeard. That's where Treebeard sits.
The Treebeard rank.
The Treebeard rank. I mean, remember we used to have the trash bin. Now we have the tree bin. There you go. We have the tree bin. Now let's go. The next up is Ugak. Ryan, his skills sound much stronger than he actually performs. This is why I think his skills don't work properly. So at R5, when we do the tier list for, you know, low spenders, we're going to take into consideration a T3 being at least R5. And you're going to see that his skills will do more damage. But he's not, it's not crazy. It's not that high. So we'll just hold on. Hopefully next week we'll get to the next category of the tier list for damage
The
dealers.
problem of a lot of people is just they always say, oh, this commander is broken, this other commander is broken, because they consider them at very Kraken level, and every single commander is broken at Kraken level. So.
Every single one. Yes, that's what I told in our Udes. I mean, we have some players from Udes here. I said that to our group because we're talking about formations and stuff, and I said, guys, using Krakens to tell you how good a formation is the worst place you can go to. At Kraken level, anything will work.
You can run Curvan and still do good.
Exactly. So you have, and this is why I'm bringing my, you know, the concept more related to, you know, to the simplistic side of the game. You know, right now, you guys can look at this tier list and say, based on possible power output, who should I choose? Okay, I can choose, you know, let's say I have Bjorn, I have Gimli, I have Elmer, I have Skalhelm. I need 2 damage dealers. And let's say you have the gear to gear, you know, these guys. Well, I want to be the strongest in the game right now. So, wow, maybe I should, I mean, I'm a free to play, but I do have 2 T3s at R3. Or if I could pick, man, I definitely want Bjorn and Saruman in my team. At R3, these guys are so good. And you guys know from other, you know, other videos, Umbra's videos, and other things we've been talking about, Bjorn and Saruman are going to be at the top level in all tiers, all categories. Okay? So you're not going to go wrong with Bjorn and Saruman. So that hopefully this helps you guys understand, you know, make it very simple to decide who you guys are going to run in the future. Okay? Okay, give me a second here. So, bro, can you please give me your opinion about my previous 2 comments, or you think it's still completely based on commander's tier? I mean, give me a second, Will. Let me look at your comment here really quick. So, I see one of them. Where is the other one? Okay, no, that's not the one. I talked about that one. So, he said, don't you think that depending on how it works now, it will be very useful to analyze how good or bad some squad versus another based on the roles of the commanders in each squad? Yes, I do. I do think it's important for you to analyze not just who you are running, but how optimized your formation is. Let me give an example. You guys have been, you know, coming to my live streams. You know that I've been talking about the healing formation, right? And possibly, I don't know, you know, numbers are good until you start using it in, you know, like using it in the battlefield. Let me give you an example. The Shadow, okay? He is extremely good at cleansing White Council. Now, and I'm not saying he is or isn't. I'm just making you guys, you know, ask this question. If I'm running somebody that does not have White Council, is the Shadow still at the same level? Do we consider him as good without looking at the numbers? You know, if you're not having to cleanse, you know, clean White Council, maybe yes, maybe he's still that good, or maybe he isn't. You know, so you have to consider how your squad plays to really analyze, you know, a commander. For example, I'm running Radagast R3, Círdan R5, my Galadriel and my Dane are, you know, you guys seen, they're you know, they're Zenith. But I'm running 2 very low respect commanders that heal. And people would automatically think, man, that's just a bad formation. Well, I've tested against our biggest Kraken in our team. And when I chose the right gear, when I chose the right the right units, I demolished him. For the difference in account size, yes. You know, so it just depends on how you play. This is what I am enjoying about the game. The units, the type, you know, the type of unit you choose plays a very, very big role in determining if your draw is in your favor or against you. So, what do you have to say about that, Umbra?
What I think about all you say is just Dane. For example, I take an example of SSS on the chat. He say about Dane, his happy is not on the top, but he's sad because he invest everything on Dane. What I can say, it's not a bad investment because
No.
absolutely
No.
it's crazy strong. For example, you run Dane on your formation, and in my opinion, the reason because your formation excel, it's also because you have a damage dealer like Dane, so you can run that formation because you have a Dane that deals the damage for all your commander in solo. So Dane is never a bad investment. Talking about Shadow and what you say about Shadow, for sure, what I think it's Shadow, it's fundamental on a team just cause the White Council is the meta. If the White Council go out of meta, the Shadow fall down a lot on the tier list because there's a lot of better commander in terms only of pure damage.
Exactly. There you
But
go.
there's no one can burn a stack like Shadow.
No, 100%. And that's exactly why, guys, we have these live streams. I hope you guys come back to the other ones, is to get these types of questions and conversations go. So, well, I appreciate that question. And just to answer you, SSS, to be honest, I'm kind of happy Dane is not at the top, but sad. Let me tell you why you need to be patient. Okay, Dane Bjorn at R3 is stronger, right? But when you consider that the Bjorn's relic, okay, if you're ever gonna put stuff into him, maybe get him to R10 one day and unlock a relic. Remember this: his bottom skill is very average. It's you get 2.5 of attack. It really is. I mean, at a regular play level, that really means almost nothing. Now you look at Dane's, right? His relic, it boosts your damage. Now, 0.5, is it a whole lot? Well, 2.5% is a lot better than 2.5 attack at the base level. So you're never gonna go bad with Dane. And as we go up in the tier list, you see that Dane punches up a lot. So I mean, Dane he's always in my main formation.
Even at Respect 5, Dane have a huge boost because the
Huge
Respect 5 of
boost.
Dane is very, very strong and also boost the skill damage. So it's
Exactly.
multiplier.
Exactly. So you don't feel bad, man. You got one of the top tier commanders. You're doing just fine. All right, guys. We did pass the time a little bit. Let's just finish the couple that we have left, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. So next up, it's Ugak. Let's go to Ugak here. All right. He is a blue little commander, in the future to be a purple commander. Changing all the colors.
You want to upgrade Ugak?
Make Ugak great again. All right, let's look at his skill.
Okay.
He looks cool, at least. I mean, you guys are gonna be surprised though. Ugak, his top R0 does 2,000% of damage with an increase of 500% throughout the fight when he's attacking. It's a trade-off. When you're defending, you don't get it, but it's 2,500 when you're attacking. And then his R3. Let's see if I calculated this right. I think I did. So his R3 is Searing Axe. Normal attacks have a 50% chance to deal additional 300% burn damage. In a level 10, it increases that to 60% instead of 50. Okay?
Yes.
So let's do the math here. I think. So the math is 60% of. Let me just add here. 300 times 10. All right. So that is 1,800 of extra damage to our bad boy Ugak. The issue with him though is that you have one skill that's physical, one skill that's elemental, And for a free to play, you're never gonna focus gear that has both of them. So it becomes he's gonna drop a lot in value because of that. And also look at his focus damage. It's kind of crazy that they gave him a burn skill.
At maximum level, have 8 of focus.
Imagine that. So
the burning skill is a joke.
They gave him a elemental skill with. I mean, it's like what they've done to King of the Dead, in 1.0. They gave the guy all focus, all elemental damage and skills, and then he has the lowest focus in the game for good side.
Yeah.
What? And they never fixed this. So Ugak is the same situation. But looking at sheer numbers, though, he hits 4,300% of damage. That would put him just below Oglher and above Legolas. Now, he's gonna drop down a lot for two factors. Exactly. His minimum maximum is when he ascends, he gets an extra 3, right?
It's so close to 19.
17 to 19, which would put him very close to Legolas. But then his skills being broken in a bad way, elemental and physical, I feel like he should be below the Undying, honestly. I don't think he's gonna do more damage than the Undying.
In my opinion, considering the half of the damage is focus, so gonna be multiplied by nothing. Exactly. It's a commander that deserve to be at the same level of Khaldun right now in terms of damage.
Okay, I feel that, and I'm okay with that.
It's very relevant, the fact that half of the damage is
elemental,
not
and he has 0 elemental. That's true. You're right. So that sucks. So I do think possibly he is even below Khaldun, because Khaldun is still doing one type of damage, and as long as you give him the right gear, he's still gonna do
below
some
Khaldun,
damage.
similar to Khaldun, but below.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's where I put him there. Okay, perfect. So that's where he's sitting right here, guys, below Khaldun, but on top of Treebeard. Treebeard is gonna because he's still doing Ugak is still doing his normal attack, so just that alone puts him above Treebeard. Okay, next up we only have 2 more. We have 3 more to go. Let's go to the Witch King, then we'll go to Zagrid, and then we're gonna close the tier list with the one who is not to be mentioned yet. All right, Witch King.
On the Witch King, basically, again, we have the ring rate called Snatskull right now.
Yes.
So always the same damage burst. 2,000%
of damage, and his top bar is 0. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit stronger when I calculated, but it's only 320 times 5. That puts him at 1,600. Okay, so Witch Kings are 3 damage. This is kind of crazy. Ducky Quacks. Wait, man. Just wait a little bit. Witch King, 3,600% of elemental damage. Now we know the Witch King from people testing, he will do quite a bit of damage. He's not gonna do he's gonna it's a low percentage, but I've seen Witch King do 40,000-50,000 in actual damage, if not a little bit higher. So let's see here where Witch King fits. Let me just look at the pure numbers. So just pure numbers, he would be below Bard. But I think he should possibly be somewhere in the ranks of the Undying, I feel.
For me, it's superior than Balin, but inferior than Aragorn. So in the middle between
Okay. Oh yeah. So he's doing 36. So he's getting about 1,000% just looking at sheer numbers if we put him above Balin. But at the same time, his damage minimum maximum is a lot higher, and focus damage bypasses defense. So giving him about 1,000 boost. Okay, I can see that.
And also it's burst damage, so you can eliminate the enemy first and can react. So in my opinion, it's better in terms of damage than a Balin. Balin, it's very bad.
So below the Undying, but above Balin.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that.
Correct.
I like that. I think that's where I sit it. as well at the level of Undying. Perfect. Okay. Actually, there is one commander on the good side we actually haven't done, and he's right below Witch King, I think. Or
Yeah,
he's below Balin. I don't know. We do Hirgon already.
SSA
No,
use
if it's there,
Witch
then
King
we
and
did. Never
Undying.
mind. Yes. Okay, so
And
Oglher,
both are respect 3.
yep.
And they do similar damage on the battle, and I agree with that. The Undying and Witching are pretty similar, but in my opinion, the Undying at the same gear level, same respect, is a bit superior in general, and is more solid.
The Undying, you said.
Yeah, the Undying is better.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Last but not least, but last on the ones that I said, let's go to Zagrid. You guys are gonna be surprised by Zagrid. Whew. Just hold on to your underwear right now. So let's see. Let's pull up Zagrid here next to Treebeard for now, and let's look at his skills really quick. All right, so Zagrid.
I'm pretty not satisfied of that Zagrid skill, because they remove all the damage skill from his skill.
Yes.
Just one skill.
One skill, and then a skill to boost that skill.
Yeah, exactly.
So his R3 does 700% physical damage to one formation every 3 rounds. So that alone is 2,100. Now, how do we want to calculate the chance of doing 180% to mounted units?
It's hard because you can choose, or you calculate there's how many kind of unit there's in the game, and you make exactly the percentage of chance of finding that. But it's very hard.
Yeah,
so.
but let's do this for simplistic reasons. Let's do this. I'm gonna add one instance of that, just one, okay? Because when I do the recap, I might actually do what Ombra just said. I might just look how many mounted units are and do like a 0.1%. There's like a 10, I don't know, 20% chance of hitting a unit. But at least one we probably have at least one instance where they're gonna hit. You know.
What I think is for the sake of the tier list and the test, we consider every time the Pursuer skill as we attacking, so we can also think we consider enemy of the Rohirrim as we attacking cavalry every time, if we want the real value of the skill at the maximum possible level.
So the thing is, now quick question, this will do one additional hit between those 3 rounds, right?
This gonna deal additional hit in the round where the skill proc. Round.
So it has 3 round a chance to do it, right? So it's rounds 3, 6, and 9.
Exactly.
There's those 3 chances. Now the question is, it's only gonna proc if that one hit, right? It deals 700% physical damage to one formation. Does that matter that you have to hit a cavalry on that skill for the bottom part to proc? Or let's say for example, this skill hits eagles, okay? It does 700% damage to eagles, but there is a mounted unit in the formation. So it's gonna hit the eagles and then gonna hit the mounted unit, correct? Or no?
That is a very good question. Let me send my Zagrid versus a unit, because it's something I don't know actually.
So, because does the target of the skill have to? I'm assuming it does. Look at the name of this. Enemy of the Rohirrim. I'm going to assume that the target that you hit has to be cavalry for the bottom part to do the extra attack.
But the skill doesn't say if the target is...
True. So, but the thing is,
deals an additional damage, blah blah blah, to mounted unit.
Now, I'm assuming if there are 2 formations with mounted units, it's still gonna do only to 1 formation or to 2, because it says
one additional, I think.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. But Zagrid is a commander I think almost no one plays. So
yeah, I never run them right now. So
all right, so let's wait for Ombra to hit somebody there.
Yeah, exactly. Let me hit.
Hopefully it has mounted units and he doesn't hit the mounted units for that skill. So we can find out. All right, let's see. Will said, my conclusion, D&D put very high damage at the cost of high troop losses. Yeah, that is true. That's basically what you're doing. You're just, pumping out damage at the cost of your units. Yep. Troop damage commanders put an average damage with an average troop loss. Support put low damage and give more survivability. That is a pretty good conclusion. Well, I would put it somewhere there as well.
So let's go end with the calculation until I have hit the target.
Perfect, that's fine. Has anyone been successful running 4 damage commanders? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, successful. I'm pretty sure people are hitting stuff and doing a lot of damage, but if it's sustainable, I don't know. I've seen people run 3 damage dealers. That has been going pretty well.
In particular, on Evil Faction, I also see a lot of people running, for example, the Nut School team I see with Sestaro, Skalhelm, and the Undying and the Shadow.
I love to see that.
And that work.
I love to see that in PvP.
In some case, you can lose a lot of unit. If you don't shot the enemy, you get shot because you have no sustain.
All right, so let's do this. Let's say there are mounted units and Zagrid does hit all 3 rounds, one unit, right? So like best case scenario. Yeah. So that's 180 times 3. So his total damage output at best case scenario would be 3,375, just below Khaldun. But since Khaldun is a T2,
I confirm it's only 1 the target hit with the secondary effect, and I also confirm is not related to the target you hit with the first. So if you hit 1 infantry unit, but there's a cavalry unit on the formation,
it's gonna target that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. There you go. So I'm pretty confident most people will run at least 1 cavalry unit in their formation. Yeah. So we can do that calculation accurately. That his only skill does 3,300. It doesn't do 3,375. But the reason why it's a little bit higher, the Reckless, his bottom R0, deals 35% extra damage. Okay, so we do the calculation of the skill. 700 plus 3. Oh, actually, let me do this first. Plus 180 times 3 times 135. Ooh, let's see. Wait. Why is this lower now? Ooh, that is very low. So my calculation is correct. Yep. You do 700 times 3 plus 180 times 3 times 1.35. Ooh, that is so low. So Zagrid sits just above Treebeard and below Thorin. Yep. So we found somebody that's just a tiny bit better than Treebeard in this case. Or less worse. Alright, so Zagrid goes above Treebeard. And then last but not least, and we're gonna conclude with this one. The Shadow.
What I can say about Zagrid is maybe you need to consider that the 35% also influence the basic attack.
Yeah.
So it's overall a bit more influence than that. Not only the 3 instance of the skill.
True, because he does 30%, 35% to the whole thing, not just the skills. You're right.
For me, it's a bit superior than where we place. It's close to it's at the level of the Khaldun in my opinion. Okay,
so true, because I mean, yeah, just number wise, 2,229, but then 35% extra, 350%. Let's do this, 350% extra on top of your normal attack puts him above 3,000. puts above 3,000, puts yeah, just because Khaldun does 3,000.
Not superior than Khaldun. Maybe at the same level. I don't know if he's superior or inferior. Depends of
Yeah,
if
so that's
you
true.
for
But
really
yes, I was gonna
cavalry.
say I would put him below Khaldun because he's. I mean, what if somebody doesn't run cavalry? So then he loses.
Yeah.
You know, he loses all that extra
A
damage.
lot.
So let's put him right there. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the shadow. Jeez, you guys have no idea how surprised I was when I did the calculation for the shadow. And we all talk about how good the shadow is, right? Whew. But at respect 5, let's look at his skills really quick. Probably everybody has seen his skills every single day. I mean, but if you're an RP Evo player, everybody's running this guy. So let's look at his 3 skills that we're taking into consideration, okay? We're looking at his top R0, Undertaker. Normal attacks deal 120% physical damage to 3 formations. That adds up to 3,600. Then we're going with his R5. First 6 rounds has a 90% chance to do dual blows, to do follow-up. Okay, and it has a level 10 normal attack damage plus 15%. All of that, then you have to do the calculation. You have to calculate this on top of this, and then adding the 1.5, 15% extra normal, of damage. That comes to 1,944. And since we're running him at R5, you get an extra 2 points. Okay, you get an extra 2 points. In this case, I mean, didn't we talk about Umbra putting just 1 point here, right? Yes, it's 1 point
1
here,
point
and then 1 point into hunting
Burn.
expert. Yes, so you get an extra 120% of damage from Black Numenorian. Guys, if you're following along, you're doing 3,600 plus 120 plus 1,944. Shadows, it's ridiculous. Shadows' total damage output is 6,513. 6,513. Do you guys remember what Bjorn's numbers were? 6,348. Now, we have the dilemma of where we place this bad boy. The Shadow, he does, number-wise, he does more damage than anybody. Okay? His early round burst helps cleanse the current meta of White Council or Falcons, Thrain's Guard. Whatever damage reduction at the beginning helps clean Arwen's and Isildur's R5, does all of that. But his base damage is 16 out of 19. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can't place him this high. The question is, should he be at the bottom of S tier? Because 6,500 damage, it's still a lot of damage.
Yeah, but with the fact he have only 18 of damage on the average versus Bjorn that have 25 on the average.
Of course.
There's no competition on damage,
I
on pure
feel,
damage.
Even though, Skalhelm has 5,600 of focus damage, I feel that he should possibly be sitting somewhere at free-to-play level, somewhere around here.
I think let me make my consideration. I think
about this, because Skalhelm is doing elemental damage, right? So we boosted Witch King basically, just number-wise, about 1,000 points, 1,000%, because he's doing focus damage. Now in this case, because we have Skalhelm doing 5,600 of elemental damage, and the fact that her damage minimum and maximum is quite a bit higher than Shadows. Those two things considered, possibly he would sit somewhere around here.
Probably.
Above Dane, because we have to consider the fact that Dane will shine once you unlock him at R5. Then that's gonna change. Dane would overtake the Shadow, but Shadow has all his skills unlocked at R5, so he's doing a lot of damage here.
I mean, for sure, if I am free to play completely, I pick Shadow instead of Dane. Not only for the damage, because the damage probably gonna be similar, maybe a bit better Shadow, but also for the utility now. So
of course, 100%.
If I have to suggest, for sure, I suggest Shadow.
So I think he's comfortable here. Dane is still gonna do a lot of damage, but for the things we're talking about now, he does 6,500. But considering that Skalhelm is a T3, has better stats, does focused elemental damage. Dane is a tier 3, higher damage, higher, minimum maximum on his damage stat, and not too far off from where Dane is. I think the Shadow sits here really well. Well, all right, I think we are done. Whew, we broke it down into 3 hours and a half. We're gonna get better at this, guys. For next time, I'm gonna have all of my little buttons here programmed on my Stream Deck, so I don't have to go back and forth between screens. What do you think, Ombra?
I think we should reconsider a bit the positioning of Galadriel.
Let's go. So let's redo Galadriel and Sistar. I forgot to do that. So we have to do the same thing for these two. These two are doing so. They're sitting at both elemental damage. And Galadriel is sitting at, let's see here, where is she? Galadriel is sitting at 4,020 and Sistaro at 4,000. So if just by doing what we did to the Witch King, we added basically 1,000% because they're doing focus damage. That would put them both at 5,000. 5,000, just looking at sheer numbers for now, would be above Axog. Okay. Just that alone.
Yeah, that is okay. It's okay for Cestaro.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
In my opinion,
I agree.
Cestaro it's a bit inferior than Adok, because he still have a low damage.
Yes.
But Galadriel is definitely better, because also have the basic attack deals focus damage and scale with the main stat.
This is where I'd put them. I believe I put Galadriel below Lurtz. And I put Cestaro below Axog, between Axog and Aragorn II.
I think we can argue about Galadriel and Lurtz. I think Galadriel can deal at equal level of gear, Palpor gear, with free to play. Can deal even better than Lurtz. Because Lurtz is also related to attack.
The attack,
so
right? You're right. Yes, I agree.
Inferior.
Yeah, if he's not attacking, then he's definitely going to do quite a bit less. And let's take that into the consideration. All right, so Galadriel above Lurtz, and then Cestaro below Axog. Right? And I like it. And don't forget, Merry and Pippin is a placeholder for Bard. For now. In the summer, you guys are going to see the actual image of Bard. Cool, I like this. So let's do a recap. Top tier, Bjorn and Saruman. Top A tier, Skalhelm, the Shadow, Dane, Gimli, Aragorn, King of Man, Galadriel, Lurtz, Khamul, Elmer, Axog, Cestaro, Aragorn II, Dwalin. What would Frenzy Khaldun say looking up at Dwalin? Oh man, you're still up there. I'm down here. Jeez. Then you have at the mid tier, you have Oglher, the Undying, Witch King, Balin, Hirgon, Lathar, Legolas, and Faramir. At 3,000 plus, Adonai, Bard, Thorin, Khaldun, Zegrid, and Ugak. And at the lowest tier, you got Treebeard. I like the way this looks. And hopefully it was helpful to you guys. Now, I do want to give out a little spoiler to you guys. I have a list of another, let's see how many it is. 27 commanders who have some sort of damage skill. And so I'm going to do this just for the sake of, I feel that players that don't see commanders that do damage being somewhat mentioned in any any tier list or talk related to damage, I'm gonna be adding them in as a little bonus when I do the summary in the next day or so. So you're gonna see the calculations for Gandalf the Grey. Any commander in a game that has 1 damage, I'm gonna make sure that everybody understands that I'm not classifying them as damage commanders. But if anybody ever wants to have an idea of how they would stack, with their single damage skill against the actual damage commanders, then they can see, well, what about Radagast? What kind of damage could Radagast do?
It's just for the purpose of what if.
Exactly. I mean, let's call it that at the end. What if? And then people can see the little, what those damage would look like. It's going to be very low, but at least you guys can have somewhat of an idea of what those look like. And this is how I like, I'm gonna sit down and see how I can improve the whole idea of how I'm calculating the power here. But this makes it easy, at least for anybody that wants to start to think for themselves. I want to start looking at my formations, and I want to see how well I can do. I mean, you got to go by the numbers. It doesn't matter how much I like a certain commander. If the numbers aren't there, then you really know you're not gonna do well. And that's, instead of frustrating yourself, saying, look, they gotta buff this commander. It's like, just pick one that is gonna do on average pretty well. And you guys can see from the tier list, there's quite a few at the top tier. You got what, 10, 12, 13 damage dealers that you can choose from. And a lot of them are accessible from season 1. So just gotta make sure you focus, and then you guys are gonna do well. All right, Ombra, you wanna give any final remarks? And after that, we will close today's live stream.
I think we make a good job. I'm satisfied of the tier list. Overall, it's similar to what I have in my mind. Mm-hmm. So I think we do great. I see people talking about other level like free to play, but no, low spender and other stuff. And I agree, the Shadow is definitely better at low spender than Skalhelm, but not at free to play. So that is what I want to say to the chat.
Perfect, I appreciate that. And let's have a quick look on the comments, and then we're gonna close. League plays, you try math. If you only have 5 points in Exogs R0 and maxing R5. Let's see here. Let me just check.
It's worst.
I believe it's worst. I sat down looking at Exogs numbers, doing it again today, and still the best that you can go with, you can go by the maximum number of percentage wise, and the best is these two. Because you can look at the base here, right? It's 130%. So deformation's doing 2 rounds, but still it won't do. I did the calculation for his R3. It would have been, let's see here. Actually, wait, give me a second here. Oh, R0. No. It's not gonna be his R0. No, R5. No way. Never. Because it procs a lot less times. So definitely yes.
Yeah, it's 5 times versus 3, so there's no competition.
Exactly.
Even if you have a bit superior damage on it, you have a lot less damage on a long run.
On a long run.
5 hit versus 3.
Exactly. And how I've learned to play the game is I'll play with the RNG as long as I've first gotten my foundation to be proper. I have a very good, solid, best optimized damage dealers. Now, is there anybody that's similar to this that I can use to what I need and then add some kind of RNG? Yeah, I prefer playing with the certainty and use the RNG, unless the RNG is like somebody like Sauron, for example, who his RNG is, he has so many RNGs that it works really well.
And this game changer.
Yeah, but a commander that has, for example, let me give an example. I personally wouldn't run Gil's top R0. It has the stun, but it's gonna stun once every 3 rounds, one formation. I don't think it's enough to justify putting 5 points there.
Imagine if that stun hit your Dane.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's such a low chance, I prefer if there is a better, an alternative to that would work, I prefer the alternative that is more certain than once every 30 fights hitting the right Dane. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's just the way I like to play. I learned it that, to have fun in the game, even though having the commander you like is fun, if you start losing every single fight, it's not gonna be fun anymore.
What I can say, it's of course it's always good to play the commander you enjoy more. That it's for everyone. But if we talk about free to play, and the free to play maybe want to win, the RNG is necessary for a free to play. So you cannot go off pure power and think you can win versus who
that
is
is
stronger
true.
than
That is
you.
a good point. That is a good point.
So running Gil-galad, if you are completely free to play, is not so bad choice, because in a normal situation you can never win. So if you get your RNG favorite, maybe you have a chance.
That's true. That is true. Because a lot of
think.
times I will speak from my level of account, and the RNG
Yes,
doesn't play as
for
big
you,
of a role.
RNG
Yeah.
is horrible. You have the solid base for play with the power, not with RNG.
Exactly. You're right. That is true. And then again, if we're gonna run Gil-galad at R3, the stun becomes a very strong ally in this case, because you're gonna go for the evasion, and then most likely you're gonna go for the stun, because the R3, depending on the gear, it really won't do you as much good. Although I like the reports that you sent to me, Ombra, and I'm actually gonna be playing again together with that team next season, so I'll be able to get a lot of reports from Gil-galad, because right now I have a very high respect Gil-galad, and he was not doing those numbers. I have seen a lot of reports with him running that unit, the T4 from Linden, from Arner, and doing good numbers. But besides that, the maximum that I seen was him doing 70 to 80,000, but it was also very, very sporadically. But let's see. I'm excited for next season. There's a lot of stuff to be tested. Now, 2 steps, next tier list healing. We'll see how it goes. I definitely don't want to go into commander damage, and low spender yet. I want to delve into a little bit more of a different tier list type, but we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know on Discord. All right, Yoamir as a low spender, I run Scam R5 and Shadow R10, and Shadow does slightly more damage. I think R5 Shadow would be R3 Skalhelm. We'll see. I think they might be. They might not be like that much different. Just like Ombra was saying earlier. Tank tier list. We can possibly work on a tank tier list. We'll see. I'll have to look.
Be interesting.
Tank one.
Yeah, the tank one. It's something I miss. I never make that, so I'm interested too.
I don't know. Maybe we'll work together on it then, because a tank is gonna be interesting to. What are you gonna take into consideration? Because, for example, Frodo does really well at tanking because he has 30% damage reduction, but also he has the possible evasion, and since he's tanking, that RNG is going to proc quite a few times. Now,
this tier list only confirmed the elf sucks, so I agree. Rodrigo say that. Tank-wise, the elves don't suck. So you don't remember Thranduil, maybe.
Yeah, I said Thranduil is a great tank because of the healing to his own troops. Now, the same thing for Círdan. Círdan is a good tank, especially if you're gonna get his relic, because he's gonna do double healing to himself every round.
Yeah.
So there are some scenarios like Falgin can be a great tank. Well, he is a great tank, but he becomes even better if you have his relic. Then he just becomes a...
Falgin is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so last season he became mine after doing all that neuron braining thinking to see, how to make him work better at least. I mean, there are a lot of good tanks, but the thing is, ranking them, I don't know if it's as easy.
I mean, no.
So
it's possible, but you need to consider a lot of things.
A lot of things, exactly. Exactly. But I
And
think
it's strong or weak depends also with who you play with them, the situation, who you fight. So there's too much things. It's hard to ranking that.
Well, when you go out of the realms of the pure the pure numbers, then it becomes a very tough ground to be on. But anyways, we're gonna do it sometime soon, guys. Don't worry. I mean, you guys know every day here. I'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here next week. Ombra, I want to say thank you, my friend, for hopping on, for being a guest today.
It's
guys,
a pleasure.
Don't forget to to hit up Ombra's YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe, and yeah. We'll bring Ombra back sometime soon. Also like to bring some of the other guys. I think the more we do things together, it strengthens the player base, gets people talking, gets people, the community having fun, and then the game just in general is going to grow. All right, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a great night. And don't forget. And don't forget, exactly. Whatever you guys were thinking, don't forget. All right? Whatever you're thinking, don't forget. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.